There, this is Josh Lappin from PartTimeDrummer.com, and today we're here to start a new series. Some people have been requesting some information on this topic, and we're going to start a new series today on how to mic a drum set, how to get everything set up, which microphones to choose, and then just the whole process of getting the drum set mic'd and set up and ready to go for all of that. So just a couple of quick things. So you might be wondering, why would you want to mic a drum set? Well, there's really two possible reasons, maybe three or four, depending on your personal preferences and things like that. The first reason to mic a drum set, of course, is to be able to record yourself or to listen to yourself as you practice and play. So that's one reason to do it. Another reason to mic a drum set is for live performances, to both record and to provide amplification for the drum set in situations where it is needed. So we'll try to cover a little bit of both, because each different application requires a little bit different setup and things like that. There will be some similarities and overlap, but there will be some differences as well. And just to let you know, this is a very broad subject. There's a lot of different opinions and different techniques. Some of them work better than others, and you will kind of just have to experiment and find a setup and some gear that works for you and your budget and things like that. All right, so the first part of this series, we're just going to talk about the actual drum microphones a little bit and how those are used and which ones are the best ones, if you can even answer that question. So as you can see here, I'm at one of my favorite websites for purchasing gear, which is sweetwater.com. And once you get there, I just kind of show you how to navigate to find the drum mics. These are by no means the only drum mics, and there are other retailers out there who offer these. So like I said, these are just one option. All right, so we're on the site. We're going to choose shop by category, and then we're going to go to microphones, and then we have a drum microphone bundles package. This is kind of what I recommend for people who are just getting started and don't kind of know exactly what they need. So as you can see, we've got 34 different options available for micing your drum set, and pretty wide range of things to choose from. It can be overwhelming at first because, like I said, there's so many options. So we're going to try to narrow it down a little bit. Since the Part-Time Drummer is geared towards more of the intermediate to kind of beginner range, we're going to focus on mics that would be in that kind of range there. So as you can see here, we've got packages that range from $100 all the way up to $3,000 plus. So if you're in the kind of the beginner to intermediate stage, I don't think you're going to be going to that top end down there. So we're going to focus kind of on the bottom half here and kind of see what's available for us. So I'm just going to kind of narrow down our price ranges a little bit. So we're going to go from about $200 up to about $1,000. That's still quite a bit of a range, and that still gives us over 16 products to look at. So let me take it down one more. Take that. So we're going to go from 200 to about 750. I think that's a good starting range for a set of drum mics. All right, and then you can see that we've got a couple of different companies that offer things. In my opinion, for this price range, I would say Shure and Audix would be your best bet for microphones. So I'm going to kind of narrow it down by those so we can kind of keep narrowing down. And then we're left with about 8 different options here. And a couple of these I really like a lot. I'm really, honestly, more familiar with the Shure brands in this selection. I haven't used Audix before. They seem to have pretty good ratings, so if you want to check those out, go for it. The two that I would probably recommend looking at as far as a beginner package for a drum set and getting your drums mic'd would probably be these 3 right here. You've got the Shure PGA series, which is it's an intro level series microphones for mic and drum sets. I've used these before. I think they're decent. I think they do okay, and I think they produce a decent sound for the price range and the application that they are. They're not super high tech, but they are durable and they do work pretty well. The next one would be this series here, the DMK57-52. I personally own this series as well. It comes with the very popular Beta 52 and 3 SM57s, all of which would work just fine for micing your drum set. And then you got a couple other variations of the PGA. You got a 4-piece and then a 5-piece, and here's a 7-piece mic set for the drums. The difference in these is one of them, this one is, does that include overheads? Let me check here. I believe snares. Interesting. So this is a good overall, a really basic setup. This 4-piece here, you would be able to mic your snare drum with this, your bass drum with this, and then these I believe could either serve as overheads, and it says you can also use them for things like vocals and guitars. So I'm assuming these are probably more of a condenser type of microphone. Like I said, I'm not really familiar with this series, so it's hard for me to say exactly. Yes, they are condensers. So there's 2 different microphones used in recording and live sound and anything for that matter. There's a dynamic microphone and a condenser. A dynamic microphone is one that basically doesn't require external power. The internal mechanisms of the dynamic microphone, which are these 2, for example, the ribbon that's inside of there that picks up sound, it automatically converts it to a very low level electric signal. So there's no, like I said, external power that's needed. Condensers are more sensitive and they require actually external power, which is called phantom power. It's 48 volts. Most mixers will come with that power supply built right into it, so they can power these condenser microphones. So that's something to be aware of as well. So this would be a really good starter kit. Like I said, bass, snare, 2 overheads. Really good basic setup for getting some basic recording done. And then you have the bonus of being able to use these two for other things like guitars and vocals. So that's really cool for $300. Comes with a case as well. That's exciting. Oh, it even comes with 4 microphone cables and some clips. So yeah, that's a cool setup. Like I said, then the rest of the PGA, this one just has actual tom mics, 3 tom mics instead of overheads. So that's another option. And then the 7-piece kit comes with the whole thing. It comes with bass drum mic, snare drum mic, 3 tom mics, and 2 overheads. So that's kind of a complete package. This one that I have here, that I personally own, this is a bass drum mic. These can be used for either snare or tom, and you can use these for vocals and mic and guitar cabinets as well. So very versatile. So as you can see, there's quite a good selection of drum mics. I did narrow it down to Shure. Like I said, there are other brands. If you're more familiar with those, if you want to check those out, perfectly welcome to do that. These are just the brands that I have personally used before myself, so I can know what they're like, what they sound like, and how they perform. So these are the ones I tend to recommend because I know what they do. So like I said, that's just a really quick start to the drum microphones in this first part of the series. In the next part of the series, we'll focus on more of the signal path of how the drum mics, once you get them set up on the drum set, kind of where they go and how to use it from there. So we'll be back very shortly and with another installment in the series and kind of showing you what to do next with that.